Right, we're back. Now, I just want to go over this again, just to give you some tips, because these belts, just make sure you can push them down a little bit, them belts. So when you put a bit of force on them with a hex driver, just make sure you can push it down about 2 or 3 mil, so they're not too tight. And this screw here, you need to check the manual, because on the one side it takes a washer. For some reason I had 2 in the kit, so and it doesn't call for one on the other side on the manual, so I haven't put it on. So as you look at because it's easy to miss. What was the other one? Yeah, there's 2 nuts here on these motors and one at the bottom. I've actually just put a teeny bit of Loctite on them. So we're going to put this in now, but what I want to show you is, see on the bottom I put them washers. That one, I've just put a bit more glue on that. I just letting it dry. Now, then I've measured them washers with the calipers, and they're 0.8, so that's just under a mil. So I wouldn't go any more than about 1 mil, because what that does is lifts it up. It'll lift it up. Excuse me. It'll lift it up 0.8. So as that rubber wears, it will just give it a bit of. Let's just undo that. That glue should have went off. It'll just give it a bit of help, but I wouldn't go any more than 1 mil, because on my first box I done this washer trick, and I've got sick cross on at the Drake Raceway. I've turned the sound down though. There's a few big names there. Mayfield's there, Lutz, Drake obviously, Richard Saxon's there, but Lutz, I watched the pro buggy, Lutz killed him. And what I've done here, I've marked, look at the manual, and then I've marked where so it's got to go at the top here, and then the first lot of holes here. So I've marked it out with a white paint pen. So we're going to fit this now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run them wires at the back of that. So when you put it in, I've got to watch them washers don't come off. Is make sure you tuck them wires down the back. And you've got to stand it up. It's a bit tricky because them washers, if they come off, you've got to glue them back on again. So we're going to try and do it in one go. But once you get one in, it kind of helps. That's one. got a bit of a runny nose because my sleep cycle's been out a bit. Now, these nuts on the back of this box that go into this assembly, the unit assembly, I will Loctite them, but not now, because we've got to line up the, because that can move a little bit on them. See, it can move. There's about a 10 or 12 mil distance where it can move, so let me just get the lid. Put that like that. Yeah, we won't, we'll just nip them up. I will put a bit of Loctite on them because once you've got it set, you won't touch it for at least 12 months. Let me just give us a sec. Right, so that's all in there, and then wires are at the back of that, not the wheel. What I might end up doing is that red one's a bit long, so I might end up taking 10 or 15 mil off that just to even it up. But this side, this black wire and the red wire, they'll go to the push down mechanism like that. But this red wire here, it's a bit long. Can you see it? So I might end up taking a bit off that. I might get the soldering iron out. I won't film it because I don't need, but I made a video 3 minutes and YouTube wanted me to make it as a short, not a video. So, but yeah, that's in there. So just to go over that again, then belts, make sure you can push them down 2 or 3 mil, and make sure you don't miss the washer on the one side of when you put the screw in there. When you put that screw in, there's a washer on the one side on the manual. This washer, make sure you don't forget that. It's a bit tricky to get it in, but if you use a bit of grease, it sticks a bit. So it's all good. So it's coming along now. Most of it's done. So now we're going to build up the, we'll probably call this part 6, and I'll end it now, and then we'll start another video, and we got to do the next part. Have I forgot anything? I don't think so. Yeah, just on these motor nuts, there's 2 nuts there, 1, 2, and there's one at the bottom. I've just put a little bit, like a minute amount of Loctite on there. because you won't touch them. Probably, I can't remember. Well, I didn't. My old box, I didn't take the motors out. I had it for 5 years. That's why the Mugen boxes have got a great name, because they last. What you can do is clean up that commutator after about 1.5 years. Just give it a clean up. Just get a cotton bud in there and clean it up. But yeah, that's about it. All right.